Today we're talking racing ear duds with Erin from Racing Ears. So let's get to it. Welcome back to the Power Republic YouTube channel. Today we've got a special guest, Erin from Racing Ears, and she's going to be stepping me through the custom earplug process. Now, racing go-karts, there's tons of noise out there, so safety never takes a holiday, and it's a bit of a staple here at the House of Power. So, take it away, Erin.
Hi.
Hi, Erin.
Nice to meet you.
Tell us about Racing Ears and how it all started.
Okay, so we have two young boys. Both of the boys have autism. Hayden has had ear issues since he was very, very young. So at the age of 3, he'd had about 9 surgeries on his ears by then.
Sure.
And so he needed a swim plug. So we spent about $300 and what felt like about 5 years at the audiologist trying to get those fitted.
Yeah, okay.
So you then have to send away, they have to make the mould, they have to bring them back, they have to refit. So it was a long process, but that's what he needed to do to be able to swim. A few years later, he needed a new pair because his ears were growing, not too big, just regular growth.
Yeah.
And he needed a new pair, and we were looking for something that was a little bit more cost effective and a little bit less time in the chair to try and fit. So we ended up getting onto eMold Australia. They use an Instamold featherweight product, and they're guaranteed for 2 years at only $80 a pair.
Right,
so much better than the audiologist, and still the same quality.
Okay, cool.
So these are the only not do-it-yourself, but on-the-spot product that will actually give the same rating at that Class 5 protection that you would get from an audiologist.
So how much, is there a standard for earplugs?
So the standard set of earplugs that we do, so the flat colour.
Yeah.
The flat colour plugs are $80 a set.
Sure.
If you want a multicolour plug, they're $90.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then we have a big range of electronics that we can fit into those as well. So if you want to be adding a race monitor, if you want to be adding your music headset.
Yeah, so we could be YouTube.
You could be YouTube.
As I'm driving my car.
Your Bluetooth set up for your motorbike. So if you're riding a bike and you want your phone hooked in, all of those electronics can be retrofitted to.
So it's almost like a custom AirPod, like an Apple
Exactly, because those AirPods are really uncomfortable. They don't stay in your ear.
Nah, cop that, Apple.
I know. So
maybe
these are going to be
ones will be better.
Maybe. So these are going to be custom fit. They're going to fit nice and comfortably, and they can be retrofitted to all of those electronics.
So how much would the electronics cost inside a set of custom moulded earplugs?
It depends on what you're actually ordering. So for your little handheld radio, so Grid Marshall, for example, that's going to cost about $180, $170.
On top of your...
no, inclusive of the plug. So that's a 1 year, like a your security plug.
Yeah. The Matrix.
The one plug. Yeah, exactly. The Matrix plug, about that $180 mark. They do vary. For an in-car kit, so a race monitor set, you're looking at about $269 to $289, depending on what sort of connection you want.
And that just connects Bluetooth to either like my mobile phone.
Those ones are different. So your race monitor will plug into your car kit. These are for your race drivers.
Oh, right. So you've got to have an outlet jack.
Yeah, so for your Bluetooth sets, you're looking at a slightly higher price, but you can see all of the prices are up on our Facebook page.
Okay, cool.
And also in the brochures that we'll have at the track as well.
Sweet as. Erin was just mentioning that me and her kids are about the only 2 people she sees at the go-kart track wearing earplugs. Now, I started racing go-karts at 9 years old. I've listened to them all my life. I listen to them in my sleep, at night, during the day. My ears are constantly ringing. And that's why I choose to wear earplugs now. Now, I have been using the disposable ones. Erin has just updated me that they're single use. So I pull them out and put them back in during the day. And they actually lose some of their effectiveness. So keep that in mind. These ones that she makes are 100% reusable. You can wash them. And they still give you a 28 decibel reduction. Awesome. Okay, so now that we've given you the blurb about how awesome reusable earplugs are, Erin's going to show us the steps required to get your own custom ear protection made right here at the House of Power.
Alright, so you can get these made at the track. I only need your driver for about 10 minutes. Then the plugs will be ready to wear about half an hour later. So there's a little bit of stuff that I can do without your driver there, but the actual process only takes about 10 minutes.
Sweet.
So the first step, which takes much more time, is choosing your colours.
So I've chosen a Tony Kart red and green, so let's get to it.
So what we're doing at the moment is just putting a little foam block in the ear, It just protects the ear canal while we're putting the putty in, and it also just gives us a nice neat edge on our earplug. So now what I'm doing is I'm just lubing up your ear.
Okay.
Just to make the plug come out nice and cleanly.
Yeah.
Because you're having your multicolours.
Oh, yeah.
Do a little scoop of each. So what we do now, we mix your colours in together.
Yep.
So it's a two-part process. Once we start mixing, we do need to work fairly quickly, especially if we're outside. So that's why there's a higher price on multicolour.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
So we mix those in. We do one ear at a time. So it'll block that wind noise as well in your helmet.
Yeah.
So if you think that your engine's not actually that loud, it will actually block that wind noise and reduce that fatigue as well.
Yeah, what I normally find is I can hear the cart, the resonance changes, so it's like the frequency of the cart changes.
Yeah, definitely. So this won't block, it won't block speech.
No.
And it won't block your engine noise. You'll still be able to hear the carts coming up behind you.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of people are concerned about. You can still hear the carts, no problem at all. All right, so what we do now, we apply this to your ear. It'll feel a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit different. You'll feel that pressure.
Yeah.
And then we just make sure we've got a really nice fit. And then the other side, and once we're done, you just have to wait about 2 minutes until they're set enough for me to take out. Okay. It doesn't block out any speech, and I think that's something that a lot of people are concerned about. So it's not blocking your speech, it's just blocking that vibrating sound that comes through, the damaging part of the sound that's coming through.
Yeah.
Just to release them from the air. And they'll just pop out. At that point, your driver can go and do whatever it is they want to do.
Sure.
And then what I do next is shape them all up with my trusty drone. Yeah, you can touch them.
Oh, they're hard.
Yeah. Yeah, they've
got
soft,
their shape,
pliable, they're set. And now what I would do is just tidy them up, give them a clear coat, and then they're ready to wear.
Sweet. Okay, so now we have the final product, and I'm yelling because I've got one of them in already. And you put them in like so, wind it back, and then come a little bit forward, and boom.
Good.
You're all locked in with your custom Tony Kart green and red, or red and green.
Show the other side.
Earplugs.
So they'll come in a little pouch with your name on it, with Desi House of Power.
Yeah.
So they won't go missing. If you lose them, put them down somewhere. But you can clip them on your car keys so that you've got one in the workshop and you've got them when you get to the track.
Boom. Okay, and don't forget that you can pick any of these colours here to customise your earplugs so it matches your go-kart, sticker kit or racer. So you can find Erin on Facebook and Instagram called Racing Ears. You can check that out, or you can send us a message, whatever. Her link will be in the description below. Thanks, Erin Self, for coming in and making us up some custom earplugs.
No problem.
If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up or consider subscribing. We really appreciate it. If you've got any questions, leave it in the comment section below. You can follow us on Instagram and the Facebook at Power Republic, or you can go to our website www.powerrepublic.com.au. Grab yourself a t-shirt or a brand new Tony Kart. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.